Hi there, my name is Megan and I'm going to be making a fun, inexpensive, and really attractive Christmas craft this evening. We're going to be making these Christmas trees out of a couple of kind of surprising supplies. These are made out of coffee filters. I love this craft because it is really attractive, really inexpensive, really easy, and really fun. And personally, I think that they look like I bought them at Pier 101 or some kind of an expensive store or online. And honestly, the 4 trees that you see behind me and in front of me here were made from supplies that I got at the dollar store. And I think I probably spent less than $2 or $3 on them, between stuff I already had and stuff that I purchased. So let's get started and I'll show you how easy and fun these are to make.
So first off, the supplies you're going to need are a large piece of poster board, coffee filters. You're going to want a hot glue gun warming up, and then also you'll need extra hot glue sticks. You'll want some string, a pencil, and a nice sharp pair of scissors. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to make our cone form. What you're going to do is you're going to cut a piece of string, probably 1.5 feet, 16 inches. And depending on what size cone you want to make, you're going to make your string longer or shorter. So if you can imagine your cone being as tall as from the point to where your pencil is, that's how tall we're going to make it. So you're just going to hold the string down on the one side real taut, and on this side with this hand you're just going to keep the pencil as straight up and down as possible, and then you're just going to swing it from side to side so that you've marked the cutout for your cone. Next you're going to go ahead and cut that out. There you have it, a quarter pie. Next we're going to go ahead and prep our coffee filters. So with a nice sharp pair of scissors, and this is probably a stack of 10, I'm just guesstimating, you're going to cut a little chunk out of that, and then you're basically just going to cut out the bottom of the filter. These are flat bottom paper filters that you'd use in any standard coffee pot. You're just going to cut the round bottom off, that flat bottom piece. And then once you've got that, just do a slit like that so you have long strips, like so. Next, what you're going to go ahead and do is, if you want, you can go ahead and separate all of these so they're kind of fluffed and ready to go. Sometimes it helps if you on them in order to kind of help separate them because they like to stick. And I know a popular question is going to be, how many paper filters am I going to need for my tree? Well, an honest answer is, it depends on the size of your tree. Okay, next what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and prep and glue our cone together. So you got your little quarter circle pie form here. This is your cone form. What I'm going to do real quick is I'm just rolling this side up. Poster board is real stiff and unyielding, so I'm just going to massage that edge, because who doesn't like a good massage? And then I'm going to fold a little lip over so you can see there's just a little lipped edge there. Okay, I'm loading my glue gun, although this one isn't quite where it needs to be reloaded. And before I glue anything, I'm going to basically bring the one side to that little folded lip edge. That little lip is giving you something to attach your glue onto. Okay, now we're ready. So you can see I got a little glue on the other side there. That's absolutely fine, because all of the paper, whether you get your pencil marks kind of off when you go to draw the curve on the bottom, or whenever. It doesn't have to be perfect because the cone is going to be covered with the paper filters. So I've just glued the bottom quarter here, just pressing it together while the glue sets. And then I'm going to go back and along that little edge that we created by folding it up. I'm just going to add a little bit more glue and press. You can even reach your hand inside and push up against it, like so. You can see I need a little bit more glue. Got a loaded new glue stick. And again against that edge. My little top to come out. So this can be a very crude form. It does not have to be perfect. All this is going to be covered by the paper filters. I'm just holding that for a couple more seconds until that glue sets. Now we're all ready to glue on our paper filters. We have extra supplies ready. Our hot glue gun is ready. So as we start, you're going to start at the very bottom of the cone. Doesn't matter where on the cone you start. You could start at the crease, you could start over here, it doesn't matter. So what you're going to go ahead and do, and before I put any hot glue on, I'm just going to show you real quick. So starting with the you can see how there's a curve to it. The curve is always going to be on the bottom with the ruffles on the bottom. So here we go. You can see I did one vertical stripe, one horizontal stripe, kind of a little square edge there. And now I am just going to start gluing on my coffee filter. So I like to do a stripe. And I'm going to flip this because I like to work better this way. So as opposed to letting the coffee filter curve up the way it's going to curve, you're just going to keep on ruffling it so that the bottom of the little ruffles stay flush to the bottom of the cone. You don't need to use that much glue. It's whatever you're comfortable with. So you see, you just want to keep it ruffled. Like to ruffle and press, ruffle and press, ruffle and press, like that. It does not have to be perfect. If you're a perfectionist, bless your heart. Go ahead and spend more time than I'm spending. See how as I start a new ruffle or a new coffee filter, I do that one vertical stripe, one horizontal stripe. Vertical stripe is so that you get that edge attached so it's not flying away, and then you do a little bit there. And then you just come across, and I'm going to do the opposite, another vertical and a horizontal stripe as I finish off that first ring all the way around. And then when you have all this extra, you can just cut that off, set the shortened pieces aside because you will use those later. So there's what your first ruffle looks like, turning it right side up. And now we're just going to continue that process on with the rest of our cone. Straight with glue. And press. And you can see I'm trying to keep that width about the same. It's not perfect. And we'll just keep going all the way around. One good and important thing to note is that you don't have to, anything on the part that you're gluing, basically if you're holding it upright on the upper half of the coffee filter, it doesn't have to be perfect. It can be the ugliest thing you've ever seen because it's going to get covered. Okay, and I'm just going to cut an extra piece that'll fill that gap. process again with another layer. Okay, we're getting close now. So this is where those extra pieces are going to come in handy. Starting with the longest one as you get up near the top. Just continue the process, except you're using a pre-cut piece that's actually going to make a lot less work for you, less cutting. It's such an easy project, it's not that much work. You just see I'm continuing that process of pressing those ruffles on. There we go. These aren't pre-measured pieces or anything. These are just whatever you have left from your earlier longer pieces at the bottom. Okay. You're nearly there. A little bit left here at the top. Sometimes I have extra pieces that I can use for the top, sometimes not. So just like the bottom, how you started, you wanted to make sure that the end of the ruffle is flush with the bottom. In this case, we just want the top piece to be flush. All right, so for the very top, it's kind of like you started at the bottom. You just want the very, very top of this filter to match up with the very, very top of the tree. And as you get up near the top, you will probably notice that your ruffles are less and less, unless you take the time. If your top looks a little bit wonky and you want it to look a little more crisp, you can always kind of pinch and twist to have a more pronounced top. So I think that looks pretty nice.
So there you have it, a coffee filter Christmas tree. You saw how easy it was to make. You know how inexpensive it is with supplies from the dollar store. And if you have a hot glue gun and you're halfway crafty, it's going to be a breeze. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out other craft projects I have. If you have any suggestions of things you'd like to see done that you see on Pinterest maybe, and you say, how in the world did they do that? Go ahead and leave me a comment. Hope you've enjoyed this project. I'm Meg from followmeg.com, and from my family to yours, have a very Merry Christmas.